fair use, fair use, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, and scholarships, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. So, all praise to the Most High in Christ. Just want to say this. Here's this brother again, Hamite, and he makes a lot of videos that I enjoy his content because it gives me a chance to rebuttal a lot of the information that he comes out with. A lot of the content that he makes give me good content for me to rebuttal, to show you. Basically, I know a lot of people say, well, why are they meddling? He's in Africa meddling. Actually, he's acting as an instigator. He's shining light but throwing shade at the same time on the condition of the people here in America, when he has no room to really throw shade. But we enjoy him because he gives us a demo, what you call it, he's a prop for us to discuss the situations that he gather up, the racist situations that he gather up and highlight. So let's listen to him.
And if you're not faring well, please fare well where you are. So you understand that racial conflict is very common in America, and racial conflict is something which can be synonymous to the Black experience in America. When we discuss topics of Black experience, one theme tends to arise, and many discussions share this specific theme, and the theme is always the theme of racial conflict in the United States of America. What if I told you that we have something which is coming out, or maybe something that already come out right now? It is in its full-blown stage, whereby it's now showing the symptoms, and people are not hiding it anymore, right? So we have a specific town, or rather a county.
What he's doing here, we are teaching. He's absolutely wrong about what he's doing, about what he's saying. He's saying there's something wrong with people gathering in their own communities, when that's exactly what every race do when they come here. But he's saying they making it hard. People are making it hard. They're not ashamed. They're not ashamed anymore to say they don't want black people around them. That's not the issue. Let's look at some of the videos here.
Missouri County.
The white race in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas. It's called Return to the Land, probably because their neighbor already took the name KKK. Their rules: no gays, no Jews, no non-whites. See, they needed to be able to control who their neighbors were. And apparently the town where they've settled, Ravenden, was just too diverse at 94% white. So they needed to build their own white town. As if the Ozarks themselves aren't white enough for these people. Most of y'all probably haven't been there. I've been there a lot. It's a very white place. Their idea of diversity is a Chinese restaurant that serves shitty dim sum and a Taekwondo studio that's in the back of someone's house. Apparently, they have to have their own white town because if you don't have rules against it, anyone of any race could be your neighbor. These people aren't even from the Ozarks. They've migrated there, which is actually my favorite part of this. They have no clue what actual subsistence farming looks like. They're cosplaying trad lifestyle, traipsing around in flowy dresses, watching their
you see what she's doing? She's throwing a lot of crap, a lot of foolishness in there, trying to actually make content that makes no sense. It's called data overload, and she's throwing a lot of bull crap in there. But the real story is that people are allowed to gather together and form their own communities, and they don't have to let people outside of their family members or their designated uh, guest list. They designated the designated people for their community. They do not have to let you in. That's what America is. It's a mixing pot, but it's not everybody got to live next door to every race, got to live next door to the other race, or else you can't come in. That's not what it says. Now, I have other videos on here. I'm going to talk more about that, but let's listen to some other people as they talk. Let's listen to the people who from the town who's building the city and the communities. Let's hear what they got to say.
Equipment while they pretend to be pioneers. In reality, all they're doing is running away from people who have different ideas than them.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32.
Let's comment on that last comment she made. You can move away from people who have different ideas and living style than you have. You do not have to live around people and be placed where the way the fake government and the fake government official has done us. They placed us, people around us, to watch us. That's why they placed the other communities around us. White people, so-called white people, Edomites were placed around us to watch us. We were placed in projects and plantations and reservations so they could keep an eye on us. And they could tell us when we could go and when we were moving outside our boundaries, keep us in our place. And then they sent the other nations in on us to take our finances and our monies out of our neighborhood, so we couldn't, keep build our neighborhoods up with our own money and our own businesses. So they stopped giving us loans. They made it hard for us to run our businesses, and they did everything they could when we needed loans to rebuild our business, because our people, we had businesses. Just think about this. We had businesses that our young black people don't even know about. But the drug trade stopped all of our businesses, right? The drug trade broke our communities, right? And it put all the money in the gangsters' hand, in the young drug dealers' hand, and they ran everybody and businesses that was legitimate out of the neighborhood, right? They shut the businesses down and they opened up businesses like there was not really beneficial to the neighborhood, like candy stores, corner stores. Let's see, what else did they have? They had fish markets. They had barbecue stands, taco stands. Stuff. Restaurants, nasty restaurants. What else did they have? Car washes. Remember those mobile car washes they had? I was around. So all the businesses and the trade businesses, like we used to have people in our communities that could build houses from the ground up. I'm one of them. We had people with dry cleanesses. We had laundromats. That was one of the dope dealers' businesses. The ones that not successful, but people who got established and had a fair amount of money. They cleaned their money. Had to clean their money. Christian Church was one of the businesses that destroyed our neighborhoods. The Christian Church. Let's see, ticket houses, gambling houses. Yeah. So they changed them from the mom and pop neighborhoods, banks, we had banks, we had service stations, we had gas stations, liquor stores, we had mechanic shops, we had everything, dress shops, we had beauty shops, salon shops, nail salon. We had every business that is in our community. We owned all those businesses, banks, clinics, everything. Dentists, had dentist office, chiropractor's office, black chiropractors in our neighborhood. We had all the business that they have now in our neighborhoods. So, but our young people don't understand that. So they feel hopeless. But people who understand building communities, we're going to hear these people building their communities. And I'm going to tell you, what they're building is going to fail. I'm going to just click in and show you, let them talk. But what they're doing is going to fail.
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only, that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading-type roles.
I guess I found the people through Twitter that ended up starting this project, actually spearheading it. And I went out to the first April event last year, and it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites, but is okay by implication for other groups, I do feel it's necessary to carve that out.
See, they're starting out with lies. They have always started their own community, so they're not going to work because these people are bums. They are not hardworking people. They don't give a damn about each other. These young people do. They drug addicts. They hate. They're going to get bored up there. They're going to start sleeping with each other's wives and kids. Their lifestyle. They're pedophiles. They're going to do everything ungodly up there, and I'm glad they're up there in their communities. I hope every other nation that's here in our land, I hope they do the same thing. It's easy for God to the Most High is doing this. It's going to be easy for God to punish them when they gather together like that for evil. It's going to be easy. He's going to lead them to their own devices. An ungodly-minded group of people will destroy themselves. And all God had to do is come if he wanted to and just flood them, wash them right out, Because what they're doing, they're taking on the mentality of their forefathers, the ones that flooded our towns out, burned our towns down, bombed our towns, sundown towns. They're taking on the spirit of the sundown town again. So God is destroying that spirit off the earth, that wicked spirit. So he's gathering them up for the fire along with the tare, and 2/3 of our people, the wheat. He's gathering them up to destroy them. So this is a good thing. But what I would like to also show you is that this is legal. They said it first. They started off saying this is illegal. What'd she say? It's illegal. They would call it illegal. It used to be illegal. It's never been illegal for Europeans or foreigners to come over and gather their own community. But what I want our community to see is that this is a perfect opportunity that God is showing us that we should start doing it. We should start doing it. It's only 140 acres. You only need 200 square acres to build a community and a town. 200 square acres is all you need to build a town. And we can do that. And the thing about it is, we are the indigenous people. I'm glad everybody's hammering away at that, because you look in my videos, I showed you where they are obligated when we wake up and come back to our proper persona as one people, as a nation, bethink ourselves and say who we are and all come back as a nation. It's going to happen, because they're going to say, the Bible said that he showed Hosea saw them saying, y'all are the children, y'all are the sons of the living God. They're not going to get saved and stop being racist and hatred and white supremacists. God is going to twist their arm and they're going to say it, and we're going to have to gather together, and and repent. We're going to have to gather together, bethink ourselves, repent, start keeping the laws of the Most High God. 1/3 of us. That's all we have to do is start doing. We're going to do that before Christ comes back, before all those seals are open, before all the birth pains have started for the 2/3, the wicked 2/3, right, of our people. They are the ones that's going to be suffering through those contractions, because they're not going to give up this wicked kingdom. So the death, hell, destruction, famine is being unleashed on them. And it's going to be nation against nation. They're going to have the power. The 2/3 are going to have the power. They're going to fight against their own people, their own family members. Sons are going to be against the mothers, daughters against the fathers, vice versa. Everybody's going to be fighting and killing each other in Jacob's troubles. The 2/3. But it will not come near us. The people who have gathered together in the name of the Father and the Son, in keeping his laws, come back to the Father, keep his laws, and treat each other with love. It's not going to come near us. Now, some of the prophets on the streets might be myself. We're gonna get caught up, and I've been saying, they gonna have to take me with a fight, but I'm hearing every day and learning every day, man. I hear these prophets saying, you gotta suffer that torture, and I'm here at the Lord's disposal. Although I would like to go out like Samson with a fight. If I'm gonna go out, I want to go out with a fight. I don't want to be one just lay my head down, because Jesus told us to buy swords. That was for self-defense. In these last days, we're gonna defend ourselves. So I don't have to rule over Israelites. Just let me go out like Samson. Let me take some of them with us, right? Let me thin out their ranks so my grandkids will have it a little easier, right? Make it easier for my people, because we're going to fight and we're going to overcome them. So, yeah, let me stand for the fight. When they come and get me, if they decide to get me, and it's the Lord's will, I'm at his disposal. But I'm praying like Samson that I take them with me, take a great number with me if they attack me and my family. So either way it go, I'm prepared for whatever God's will is for me. But we need to focus on gathering together. IUIC did a couple of great videos. They had a victory in the court. They put some Edomite in jail, and that's bringing God's law back on the land. So that was a good outcome, a good fight. That was won, a good victory. So I'm glad for their video today. This is we call it the Sabbath. I heard the Sabbath day video here on the 26th of July. So I heard Deacon Yasop and Brother Nate talk. Pretty much they gave the same report, that they got a victory in the courts. Although we know it had to be really bad in order for them to prosecute. And I'm glad they got their lawyers working there, But it's going to be much better if we unite together as a nation of people. That's why they got the momentum behind them, because they have a big nation of people. Although they say they are an organization and a church, the courts know that they are a big nation. They are a big part of our gathering together. So they don't want them protesting more on the civic side. They don't want that. They already promised Esau that they'll follow his laws and stuff. So they won. They let them win in the court. They, took one of their own oppressors to jail. They didn't want to do it. They don't know how long she's gonna stay. But as long as you fight, as long as a group that big make Esau's laws their laws, then you are consenting to their governing. So as long as you consent to and you tell your people, hey, we're gonna consent to this government, then they'll do something for you every now and then. But that ain't the direction I'm saying for the rest of the people to follow. The hell with that. Gather together and take back your identity. How do you do that? You declare who you are. You self-identify. You say who we are based on our ancestors. And the TikTok people are doing it. People are doing it all on YouTube. You're doing it, but you got to come together and do it in the spirit of the Most High, because if not, you're just going to be the 2/3 out there suffering in Jacob's trouble. It ain't going to do you no good to come together on YouTube or TikTok. You got to do more. You got to build your communities like these people are doing. Come together. And once you come together as a crowd, you can go to your government. You can go to the people who say they have eminent domain over you and jurisdiction over you, and you can declare those laws that we are free and we're no longer. They get their consent, they get their jurisdiction and their power from us, and we never gave them. Check this out. We never gave them consent because we were asleep when they took power of attorney over us, belligerent trustee. When they took that trustee power over us, we were asleep. We didn't know our civics. They were supposed to wake us up and teach us what our ancestors had left us in the way of heritage, as far as unalienable rights, inalienable rights. Meaning, you can't give those rights away. That's the rights of your land, your sovereign rights. General Yohana, Nate, that's your sovereign's right. They can't take them. They can't make you get a license to keep them. Those rights to this land and sovereignty is yours. And we have proof. They're going to have to go to court. We should be in court right now, proving to those fake Native Americans and that fake government. We have all the information. We have more information than they do to say that we were here first than they do to say those 5 civilized tribes were the indigenous people of this land. And we know they wasn't here. So all of us got to get together and argue that point and stand behind and understand. We got to get and stand under the fact that we are the indigenous people of this land. And we claim all the rights. So therefore, they'll have to stop taxing us. They'll have to stop charging us rent. They'll have to give us money. They have to give us money like they're giving the fake small hats to build our communities up. They're giving these people money too. You believe it or not, they are giving these people money to build that community up. America gives out loans like that. You think they're going to give the fake Jews and Ukrainian and Ukraine and what's that? Afghanistanians and all the people, communities over here, money to build their communities up? They're not going to give their kids right here, the community money to build up their community. They don't want to live in society with a mixed group of people where it's becoming so hot and hostile. They got a point. They should be off by themselves. And if God judged them by themselves, that's between them and God. But everybody right now should have a community by themselves. Right? And if you want to, if you want to go back to the city and mingle with other nations, then go ahead. But right now, Most High told us to gather and come out of these communities. Right? So we ain't going to hold you long. I just want to show you, you have the right to do exactly what these people do. And if we come together, we're doing it on TikTok and YouTube and we're arguing about who was here, but we still calling ourselves black. That's fraud. That's not, there's no nation called black, so they don't have to even recognize us when we talking that Negro, black, colored shit. We got to come back to our true identity before they have to recognize us as a nation. Because if we say, hey, we coming back together, we was black, they like, I don't know what you talking about. Ain't none of this paperwork here said nothing about we came over here, our ancestors did nothing to black people. We did. These laws are for indigenous people, the people that was on this land when we got here. Those are people we owe. Those are the people we owe. And y'all was asleep. Y'all never came back. Y'all took everybody's suggestion, who y'all were. You took everybody else's suggestion identifying you for who you were, but you never woke up and did your research enough to realize God got a whole law sitting here for you to restore you back and your communities back. Why would he tell you to gather together knowing that they were going to make laws to keep you apart if you don't have, and if he didn't already have laws on the book in righteousness? His righteousness is everlasting righteousness. You're gonna be Israelites forever. Your laws and him separating you from other people, that's on the books. That's forever. And and once you wake up and come back to him and they still try to call you another nation, that they are dishonoring you and your ancestors, and he will start breaking their families up and tearing them up, and that curse will come on them even faster. That's what's going to twist their arm, us coming back together and identifying as our ancestors. We are our ancestors. We are our ancestors. We have their same blood in us. That was their blood they gave us. We have their blood. You are not an individual. You are who your people are. We have their blood. We owe them. They gave us life. So you're dishonoring your ancestors. You're committing fraud. You have no contract with these people. You have no obligation to them. They got you holding them for credit. They loaning you money. They loaning you stuff and got you buying credit for your own stuff. They got you working on your own in your factories that are yours. Those businesses that they started, those are your businesses. Everything, those hospitals and everything are ours. They had nothing when they came here. We worked and built up all those communities. That's another reason to tell you why this community is going to fail. These people are not going to build shit, man. These young drug addicts and stuff, they need people. If they ain't going to pick their own food, man, and go in their own farms, how in the hell they going to build those houses and cut them trees and stuff down? They not lumberjacks. They barely know how to pull that tape measure out, man. 30 of them, it's only 30 of them, they going to build up 200 acres? Come on, man. 30 of them lazy, no good children, drug addicts are going to build up 200 acres and make a strong community with a police force and everything. Because if they did get help building it up, their own people going to come and help them tear it down and rob them and take from them. They not rich. They don't have no money. How the hell they going to build up 200 acres? Community. So all praise to the Most High. We're gonna leave you with that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave you with that. So take notes. This is proof that there's no law against you establishing your own communities, and this is a good opportunity to do it, because if they tell you can't do it, then they're putting you back in slavery, because these people already know the law. They're doing it. It's nothing illegal about you starting your own community. So all praise to the Most High in Christ.